understand.
I guess more internally motivating. You can't wait for everyone else to act correctly before you start acting correctly.
Right.
Try to make America more sustainable in my own life, and that's small choices. That's choosing to recycle, choosing to do stuff, and choosing to try and educate people as you go along.
But I'm trying to, by the different things that I do personally. I'm trying to be, well, obviously simple as recycling, reusing, trying to use less, do with less, but not see it as that, not see it as I'm giving up something, but that I'm actually learning to be more sustainable. I want to have my garden, which was built last year, and to utilize more of those things that are in there and try to not maybe purchase things that are out of season, just to be a more sustainable lifestyle. Try to use less toxicity in my house, whether it's cleaning or that sort of thing. Be able to pass that on to my kids and grandkids.
What I've been thinking about a lot lately is where I put my money. It's a lot more responsible to, to buy things fair trade and to shop locally, but it's also often more expensive because you're paying people living wages. Because that's what happens when you pay people living wages. Everything costs a little bit more because living wages are important, but also higher than a couple pennies an hour.
Right.
So I try when I can to shop locally.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about going to the senior citizen home and volunteering with different programs.
Something I would like to do, I'd like to get more involved in volunteering to do some type of peace work or something like that.
I'm a writer at heart, and I'd really like to be writing things that change the world. I come from the 60s, and we're still trying to fix the world. And I think we will. I think there's plenty of us, and I think we will. So that's what I'd like to be doing, and I'm aiming towards that.
Lend a helping hand whenever I can. Yeah, if I see someone in need and they need assistance, try to pitch in and give them a hand. Yeah.
Well, where I'd really like to take my life is I'd really like to do something to help other people. I'm really interested in doing something in the medical field. I want to help people get past that scary point in their lives when they're sick and they're hurting, because there's too much hurt in the world.
Now I'm involved in church, so I give a lot to the church. I'm on the youth ministry in my church. I deal with teens, 12 and 17. So that's one of the things I'm doing. Then I'm in the process, I just bought an empty house in my neighborhood, so I'm going to turn it into like a halfway house.
I try to confront it with artwork, because I think that's the best way that I know how to confront these issues. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily going to change things, but at least I can address my viewpoint, and try to enlighten people on that way. We are visual as a culture. As a culture, and as humans, we are very visual, and I think visual art is a different way to communicate.
I think just, me having a different attitude and acting and actually being glad to be in my classes can just, transform a room. I think that's the smallest thing that I could do right now, and it's where I got to start.
Well, I'm always doing the very best that I can in order to help in any way that I can, or any type of volunteer work or helping the world out to live, to be a better world in general. I give of myself freely. I think that in itself is important to making the world a better place. I think more people should do that.
I'm actually pretty good about it. However, I do get irritated at people when they are negative to me.
Right.
Sometimes I have a negative reaction. I would like to change that, you know.
I feel like I try, you know, you can always try harder, but just talking and like letting people know, just look people in the eye, don't like walk by or don't just try to change how negative you are about people. Just your mindset.
Yes. I think it starts with the low key kind of things like hanging out with other people more, even if they might be people you know already. As well as cliche as it might seem, meeting new people, and sharing your ideas and thoughts with them, teaching them as well as learning from them.
For one, you have to get over, like, I guess, certain beliefs. You know, a lot of racism still exists, you know, a lot of prejudice still exists, and that's like a problem. You know, we see people, oh, well, he's black or he's white. You gotta get over that, because the world population is growing constantly, so there's gonna be all kinds of people like that. So you gotta accept people for who they are. And if people can just learn to do that, then I think the world will be a better place.
In order to garner a result of change, like I said, you're going to have to be stubborn in your own ways to be able to push through people's original walls of ignorance, and I use that in both a good and bad way. So that would be honestly how I'd go about it.
They respect each other the other way. They don't think they are the top and other people in the bottom, you know. Everybody we create equally, you know. In this life, all us is equal, you know. If white, black, you know, different things, you know. That's the way of life.
I'm always trying to cross borders. That's very important to me. That we do that you write literature that can cross borders. And I'm always trying to bring down the borders, bring them down, and be more aware of the global community that we belong to get out of this kind of dumbing down that we've done to ourselves, contentment with mediocrity, contentment with ignorance, all of that, just to reduce racial prejudices, just to reduce, you know, nationalistic prejudices, all of that. So that's a lot to go for, but that's what we have to start.
Okay. Being smarter, being innovative, doing something new for me, for future, for everybody around me, for humanity. I'm not thinking like just in myself. I'm thinking about people around me because I'm human. In humanity, you don't think just about yourself. You think about people around you.